Primobolan, scientifically known as methanolone, is an anabolic steroid that occupies a unique position in the world of performance-enhancing drugs. Unlike more aggressive compounds like dianabol or trenbolone, Primobolan is often described as a mild steroid, favored for its relatively manageable side effect profile. However, this characterization can be misleading, as even this supposedly gentle steroid carries significant risks when used outside clinical supervision. Understanding what happens when taking Primobolan requires examining its pharmacological properties, physiological effects, and the potential consequences of its use. Primobolan exists in two forms: Primobolan depot, as an injectable, and Primobolan tablets, as an oral version. Primobolan enhances fat metabolism, particularly in stubborn areas like the lower back and abdomen. This lipolytic effect, combined with its ability to preserve lean tissue during calorie deficits, makes it popular during cutting phases. Strength gains are moderate, perhaps 10 to 15% over a full cycle, with the most noticeable improvements coming in muscular endurance and recovery capacity. Athletes report being able to maintain higher training volumes and recover faster between sessions because it doesn't convert to estrogen. Users avoid common estrogenic side effects like gynecomastia or excessive water retention. This also means there's no estrogen-related bloating, making it easier to maintain a lean appearance throughout the cycle. However, this doesn't make Primobolan side effect-free, a misconception that leads many users to underestimate its risks. Natural testosterone production becomes suppressed, with the hypothalamic pituitary testicular axis reducing or stopping signals to the testes. The extent of suppression depends on dosage and cycle length, but even moderate Primobolan use can lead to significant testicular atrophy. The drug suppresses HDL while increasing LDL, creating an atherogenic environment that promotes cardiovascular disease. These changes occur even at moderate doses and can persist for months after discontinuation. However, the oral version is 17-alpha-alkylated, making it significantly more hepatotoxic. Users of the oral form often see liver enzyme levels rise 3 to 4 times above normal, creating risks of liver damage with prolonged use. This distinction makes the injectable form vastly preferable for those concerned about liver health. Blood pressure often rises as well, further increasing cardiovascular strain. While Primobolan is less harsh in this regard than many oral steroids, the cumulative effect on heart health remains concerning, especially with repeated cycles. Many users report improved confidence, motivation, and gym focus. The so-called alpha male mentality common with androgens. The slow, steady gains mean users don't experience the dramatic post-cycle crash seen with more potent compounds. But they still face the risk of losing hard-earned muscle if recovery isn't managed properly. Repeated cycles can lead to permanent changes in cholesterol metabolism, increasing cardiovascular risk years after discontinuation. Endocrine function may never fully recover in some users, leaving them dependent on testosterone replacement therapy. The psychological effects can persist as well, with some former users reporting lasting changes in mood, aggression levels, and self-image. Most users implement a 4 to 6 week PCT with SERMs and sometimes HCG to stimulate testicular function. It's less harsh on lipids than Winstrol, but provides slower results. It's more expensive than Anavar, but considered slightly safer for long-term use. These trade-offs make it crucial for users to carefully consider their goals and risk tolerance before choosing Primobolan over other options. While often touted as one of the safer steroids for female athletes, Primobolan still carries a high risk of virilization, the development of male characteristics. Even at low doses, women may experience voice deepening, clitoral enlargement, and menstrual irregularities. These changes often become irreversible, making Primobolan a poor choice for all but the most experienced female users who fully understand and accept these risks. However, others experience mood swings, anxiety, or even depressive symptoms as their hormonal balance is disrupted. Beginners might start with 300 to 400 milligrams per week of the injectable version, while advanced users sometimes push to 600 to 800 milligrams weekly. The oral version is typically dosed at 50 to 100 milligrams daily, due to its shorter half-life and greater liver toxicity. These doses are often combined with small amounts of testosterone to maintain baseline androgen levels, as Primobolan alone will suppress natural testosterone production. Cycles typically last 8 to 12 weeks, with longer durations increasing the risk of side effects and making recovery more difficult. In many countries, including the United States, it's classified as a Schedule III controlled substance, making non-prescription use illegal. The black market for Primobolan is rife with counterfeit products, with many substances sold as Primobolan actually being cheaper steroids or even dangerous adulterants. This creates additional health risks beyond the pharmacological effects of the genuine compound. Sleep disturbances are common, particularly when taking doses later in the day. The psychological impact becomes especially apparent during post-cycle withdrawal, when the sudden absence of exogenous androgens can lead to fatigue, low mood, and decreased motivation. Post-cycle therapy becomes essential to restart natural hormone production. It's typically involving drugs like clomiphene or tamoxifen to stimulate the pituitary gland. These characteristics make Primobolan particularly valued in endurance sports or activities, requiring repeated explosive movements over extended periods. Hair loss accelerates in those genetically predisposed to male pattern baldness, as the DHT-derived compound attacks hair follicles. Acne outbreaks are common, especially on the back and shoulders, as sebaceous glands become overactive. Body hair growth may increase, and some users report a deepening of their voice, even at moderate doses. Perhaps most concerning are the psychological androgenic effects: increased aggression, irritability, and in some cases, the onset of anxiety or depressive symptoms. Vascularity often improves noticeably, though not to the extreme degree seen with more androgenic compounds. The overall effect creates a lean-toned appearance rather than the massive bulk associated with bulking steroids. The injectable form is more commonly used due to its better bioavailability and reduced liver toxicity compared to the oral version. Structurally, Primobolan is derived from dihydrotestosterone, which explains many of its characteristics. It does aromatize to estrogen, but carries stronger androgenic effects in certain tissues. These anabolic effects occur gradually rather than explosively. Users typically experience slow but steady gains of 5 to 10 pounds of lean muscle over a 10 to 12-week cycle, with minimal water retention. The quality of muscle gained on Primobolan is often described as keepable, meaning the gains tend to persist after the cycle ends, unlike the rapid but temporary gains from more potent steroids. This makes it appealing for athletes in sports with weight classes or those seeking sustainable progress. This molecular structure makes it popular among athletes seeking lean muscle gains without water retention or estrogenic side effects. When Primobolan enters the body, it binds to androgen receptors in muscle tissue, stimulating protein synthesis and nitrogen retention. The drug's impact on body composition extends beyond simple muscle growth. Performance enhancement from Primobolan manifests differently than with more powerful steroids. One of Primobolan's most touted benefits is its relatively mild side effect profile compared to other anabolic steroids. The androgenic effects of Primobolan, while milder than many steroids, can still cause significant problems. Primobolan's impact on the endocrine system follows the same pattern as other anabolic steroids, albeit to a somewhat lesser degree. Cholesterol profiles take a significant hit from Primobolan use. Liver toxicity presents an interesting case with Primobolan. The injectable version is generally considered safe for hepatic function, causing minimal enzyme elevation. The psychological effects of Primobolan are often overlooked, but can be profound. Dosing protocols for Primobolan vary widely depending on experience level and goals. Post-cycle recovery from Primobolan presents unique challenges. While the drug is less suppressive than many steroids, it still requires a proper PCT protocol to restore natural hormone production. Long-term consequences of Primobolan use mirror those of other anabolic steroids, albeit with slower progression. For women considering Primobolan use, the risks are significantly amplified. The legal status of Primobolan adds another layer of complexity. When compared to similar mild steroids like Anavar or Winstrol, Primobolan occupies a middle ground.